The bell rang, signaling the end of another uneventful day at Lincoln High, unless you counted Tyler Briggs shoving a freshman into a locker as eventful. Most students didn't. They just walked faster, eyes down, pretending not to hear the choked gasp as the kid struggled to free himself. But Oliver Carter heard. He always did. Oliver wasn't the kind of guy who made waves. At 6'1", he could have been intimidating, if he ever stood up straight. But years of trying to blend in had trained him to shrink, to become part of the scenery. His teachers called him observant. His mom called him a gentle soul. His older brother, before he left for college, had called him something else. "You've got a fire in you, Ollie. One day, you're gonna let it burn." Oliver wasn't so sure. "Dude, you're doing it again." Javier Torres flicked a crumpled napkin at Oliver's forehead, snapping him out of his thoughts. The cafeteria noise rushed back in, spoons clattering, someone's too loud laugh, the squeak of sneakers on linoleum. "Doing what?" Oliver muttered, pushing his half-eaten sandwich away. "That thing where you stare into space like you're about to solve world hunger," Javier said, stealing a fry. "Either eat or let me have your fries. This is a moral dilemma." Oliver smirked, but didn't answer. His eyes drifted back to the far corner of the room, where Tyler Briggs held court, his laughter sharp enough to cut glass. And then he saw her. Maya Patel, tiny, fierce, and currently standing toe-to-toe with Tyler, her dark eyes blazing. "You think you're funny?" Maya's voice carried, clear and unshaken. "Stealing his project and calling it a joke? That's pathetic." Tyler's grin didn't falter. "Aw, Patel, you mad? Gonna cry about it?" He leaned in, his voice dropping to a mocking whisper. "Or maybe you'll tattle to Principal Hayes again? Oh, wait. That didn't work last time, did it?" Oliver's fingers curled into fists under the table. Maya didn't flinch. "No," she said quietly, "but this will." And then she dumped her entire lunch tray over Tyler's head. The cafeteria erupted. "She did not just do that." "Oh, she's dead. Someone record this." Tyler stood frozen, mashed potatoes sliding down his Letterman jacket, his face twisting into something ugly. Maya didn't run. She just stood there, chin high, like she'd been waiting for this moment her whole life. And Oliver? Oliver moved. He didn't think. He just acted, stepping between them before Tyler could lunge, his body shielding Maya automatically. "Back off, Briggs." Oliver's voice surprised even him. Low, steady, dangerous. Tyler's eyes narrowed. "Carter." He barked a laugh. "Since when do you play hero?" "Since now," Oliver realized, because Maya was breathing hard behind him, and Tyler's fists were clenched, and for the first time in years, Oliver wasn't afraid. He was angry. "Walk away," Oliver said, quiet but firm, "or I swear to God you'll regret it." Silence. Then, "You don't have the guts," Tyler sneered. Oliver smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. "Try me." For 3 heartbeats, no one breathed. Then Tyler spat at Oliver's feet and stormed off, his friends scrambling after him. The cafeteria burst into whispers, phones still recording, eyes wide. Maya grabbed Oliver's arm, her fingers trembling. "Why'd you do that?" she whispered. Oliver met her gaze. "Because someone should have." And just like that, everything changed. Oliver didn't sleep that night. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. Not from fear, though he should have been afraid, but from something hotter, something alive in his chest. You stood up to Tyler Briggs. The thought played on a loop in his mind, equal parts terrifying and exhilarating. His phone buzzed for the 100th time. "Javier, "Dude, you're trending." A link followed. Oliver clicked it, and there it was. Shaky cell phone footage of him squaring off against Tyler, Maya's tray still dripping mashed potatoes onto the floor. The caption read, "Lincoln High's quiet kid just declared war." Oliver's stomach dropped. The whispers started the second he stepped into school. That's him. No way Carter actually stood up to Briggs. He's dead by lunch. Oliver kept his head down, but his pulse roared in his ears. He turned a corner and nearly collided with Maya. Her eyes were red-rimmed, like she hadn't slept either. "You shouldn't have done that," she said, voice tight. Oliver blinked. "You're the one who dumped food on him." "Yeah, and I was ready to take the heat for it," Maya hissed. "Now Tyler's gonna come after you instead." Oliver studied her, the way her fists clenched, the fire in her glare. She wasn't scared for herself. She was scared for him. Something warm flickered in his chest. "Let him come," Oliver said quietly. Maya stared at him like he'd grown a second head. Second period. A P history. Oliver slid into his seat just as Tyler's lackey, Cole, dropped a folded note on his desk. "Briggs says meet him behind the gym at 3. Unless you're chicken." Oliver crumpled the note. Javier leaned over, dread in his eyes. "You're not actually going, right?" Oliver didn't answer. At lunch, Oliver braced for an ambush, but instead, a lanky kid with curly hair plopped down across from him. "So," the kid said, grinning, "you gonna let Briggs kick your ass alone? Or you want backup?" Oliver frowned. "Who are you?" "Ethan. Debate team, theater nerd, and—" He dropped his voice. "Tyler's former best friend before he called my brother a slur." Ethan's smile faded. "Point is, you're not the only one who's sick of his crap." Maya appeared beside them, arms crossed. "If you're planning something stupid, I'm in." Oliver's breath caught. This wasn't just about him anymore. Tyler waited, leaning against the brick wall, smirking. "Took you long enough, Carter. Ready to—" He stopped. Because Oliver wasn't alone. Maya stood to his left, Ethan to his right. Javier hovered behind them, muttering, "This is a terrible idea." But he was there. Tyler's smirk faltered. "Cute. You brought your little fan club." Oliver stepped forward. "We're done letting you push people around." For the first time, Tyler looked uncertain. Then his eyes hardened. "Big words. Let's see if you can back them up." He lunged, and the school security guard rounded the corner. "What the hell is going on here?" "Principal Hayes's office." Tyler spun his usual lies. "They ganged up on me." But this time, the security guard shook his head. "Saw Briggs swing first, sir." Hayes sighed. "1 week suspension, Tyler. And if I hear one more incident—" "Whatever," Tyler muttered, storming out. Silence. Then Hayes turned to Oliver. "You realize this isn't over, right?" Oliver met his gaze. "I know." Maya's basement. Ethan, Javier, and a handful of others crowded around a laptop. "Tyler's just the symptom," Maya said, pulling up a spreadsheet. "The real problem? This school lets guys like him get away with everything." Ethan nodded. "We need proof. Records of every time he, or anyone, got off easy for bullying, racism, sexism, you name it." Oliver stared at them. "You're talking about a campaign." Maya grinned. "Damn right. And guess who's leading it?" All eyes turned to Oliver. His throat went dry. "No way," Javier groaned. "We're all gonna die." But Oliver, for the first time, he smiled. Oliver's hands trembled as he pinned the first flyer to Lincoln High's bulletin board. "Enough is enough," it read in bold letters. Share your story. Demand change. Lincoln unsilenced. A crowd gathered before the ink was dry. Who approved this? Does Hayes know? Briggs is gonna lose it. Oliver stepped back, his pulse roaring. This wasn't just a campaign anymore, it was a reckoning. By third period, the hashtag was trending. Maya refreshed her phone, eyes widening. Oliver, look! Anonymous submissions flooded the @LincolnUnsilenced Instagram page. Tyler tripped me as a joke last year. I needed stitches. He got detention. He told my girlfriend she belonged in the kitchen. Teacher laughed it off. Called me the N-word. Principal said, boys will be boys. Ethan scrolled, jaw clenched. This is bigger than Tyler. The teachers let this happen. Oliver's vision blurred. How many people suffered in silence? Then Javier cursed. Tyler had posted a response. Snitches get stitches. Watch your backs. The room went cold. Oliver's locker was vandalized first. R.A.T. spray-painted in jagged red letters. Next, Maya found her car tires slashed. Ethan's debate trophies were smashed in the display case. But the worst? The whispers in the halls. They're making it worse. Just ignore Briggs like we always do. Why can't they let it go? Oliver's resolve wavered. Were they making a difference, or just painting targets on their backs? Principal Hayes called them in Friday morning. This movement ends now, he said, tossing a stack of printed tweets onto his desk. You're inciting chaos. Maya leaned forward. We're exposing the truth. By encouraging students to attack staff? Hayes snapped. Oliver stiffened. No one's attacking. The school board is investigating us because of you. Hayes's face turned purple. Suspend the campaign, or I suspend you. Silence. Then Ethan stood. Do it. Hayes blinked. What? Suspend us. Ethan smiled grimly. Make it public. Let everyone see how you silence kids who speak up. Oliver's breath caught. This was the play. Hayes paled. He couldn't suspend them now, not without proving their point. The principal exhaled sharply. Get out. They'd won. For now. Oliver knew it was a trap. The text, from an unknown number. Library. 7 p.m. Come alone or Maya pays. But when he arrived, the library was dark. Scared, Carter? Tyler stepped from the shadows, flanked by 3 varsity players. Oliver forced his voice steady. What do you want? Tyler smirked. To watch you quit. He held up a phone, recording. Say the campaign was a lie. Say you made it all up for clout. Oliver's blood turned to ice. If he refused, they'd hurt him. If he complied, the movement died. Then, he's in here! The doors burst open. Maya, Ethan, Javier, and dozens of students poured in, phones flashing. Tyler whirled. What the? Maya grinned. You really thought he'd come alone? Oliver's knees nearly buckled. They'd followed him. They'd protected him. Tyler's face twisted in rage until he saw the cameras. The whole school was watching. Live. It took 3 days. Tyler expelled. 2 teachers placed on leave. A district-wide anti-bullying policy announced. But the real victory? The Monday after, Oliver walked into school, and the halls fell silent. Not in fear, in respect. Freshmen nodded to him. Seniors he'd never met clapped him on the back. A girl with tear-streaked mascara whispered, Thank you. And for the first time, Oliver stood tall. Oliver Carter. The crowd erupted as he crossed the stage. Not just cheers, chants. Oli! Oli! His mother sobbed in the stands. Javier whooped like a madman. Maya smirked as she handed him his diploma. Told you you were a leader. Oliver looked out at the sea of raised fists and hopeful faces. They'd started a fire, and it was just getting started. 1 year later, the email arrived at 8:03 a.m. Dear Mr. Carter, your application for the Youth Activism Grant has been approved. $50,000 is yours to continue your work. Welcome to the fight. Oliver smiled and forwarded it to Maya. His phone buzzed instantly. Maya, told you this was just the beginning. Oliver typed back, We're just getting started. Thank you for watching.